What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and today is a great day to be in the lounge, as it always is. And so, welcome. If this is your first time to the lounge, just know this: the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my crew can get together and talk about all the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, superheroes, comic books, toys, oh yes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that you enjoy, if those are things that bring you some joy and happiness in these troubled times, then please hit that subscribe button as well as that notifications bell, because you're going to want to be a part of this, and we want you to be a part of this growing community of nerds. All right, we got a great community here. We do live streams, we do all kinds of fun videos about all different sorts of topics, and we want you to be here for it. Also, if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, because you know what? That way YouTube knows to tell other people about this thing and say, hey, you know what? There's some people who are enjoying what's going on here at the Poindexter Lounge, all right? So do that today. We'd really, really appreciate it. And the best compliment that we could ever get is if you share this with someone that you know. Share it on your social media or whatever. We would really appreciate that. Now, today, like I said, we are going way back. This is going to be almost a part one of two different parts, because first we're going to talk about this, which of course is the DC multiverse from Mattel Batman that came out last year. It was one of the last action figures in Mattel's kind of, swan song, their adios to the DC multiverse figures before McFarlane took it over. And so this is an ode to the 1989 Batman, the ode to Michael Keaton's Batman. And so we're going to review him today. And then later we're going to do a review of something that's going to be a little different for the channel with the next one that we do, because it will be another 1989 Batman, but it's going to be the knockoff version of the NECA Batman, that's actually Michael Keaton. Now you may say, Enosh, why would you do that? Well, I'm going to explain that story because sometimes people get stuff that they don't know what it is, and I'm going to explain like what you can expect if you buy a knockoff. All right, so we're going to do that next, but today we're talking about this Batman. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, guys. Well, today is going to be a fun review because, like I said, we're going back to this style with the Mattel DC multiverse figures. And I've talked a lot about how I really love the McFarlane figures, and I do. But these are fun. You can actually imagine kids playing with these. Like my three boys, they have many DC multiverse figures from Mattel, and they love them. They still play with them. They still have them. And then the nice thing is they look good on a shelf as well. But they look like playable toys, and that's what we have to remember, is that at the end of the day, these are toys. So we're going to take a look at this. First of all, I've always said I love these boxes. Since they went to blue, I always loved this blue. I thought it just really popped out and stood out, hanging up on a peg somewhere. But let's go ahead and take a look at the box. So you got all this blue up here at the top. It's got this kind of etched DC logo up here with this little pattern here. It's got the attention, danger, warning, choking hazard. It's for ages 3 and over. So, like I said, it's for kids. Batman, here it's the 80 years emblem right there. That's a cool emblem right there that harkens back to when Batman started. Right here it says Batman up at the top. It's got the DC Comics Originals DC logo up there. It's got a nice window here where you can see the Batman in his black suit and some of his accessories here that we'll get into. It's got this nice picture of Batman here on the side. Now this is interesting because it's not just a straight up black. It's, this kind of dark gray with some darker gray tones. And that's probably just because that's what, they had to do to kind of make it look like the black suit, I guess. Right here, it's got the DC logo and the multiverse logo with the Mattel logo down there at the bottom. Over here on the side, we've got the DC Comics Originals logo, Batman again, and down here where it says DC Multiverse, that's a nice colored picture of him. Over here on the side is the close-up picture of Batman. Once again, the DC Comics Originals logo. This is, something that's new and different for them, because usually they have the old logo. So they just kind of, toss that one in there. And then, of course, down here at the bottom, the normal logo, the DC Multiverse. Here is the back of the box. You got the full picture of Batman there, and it says DC Originals Batman. The Caped Crusader defends Gotham City against the world's most dangerous criminal masterminds. Now, this was released in its own set of 3 figures, which is kind of interesting because These first two figures, the Batman and the Joker, obviously are meant to be a part of, resemble the old 1989 Batman between Michael Keaton's Batman and Jack Nicholson's Joker. It's pretty obvious. We've got this Joker as well, and we've got some other figures to compare these two, so you'll be able to see that. But then they've got this Poison Ivy that really doesn't look anything like Uma Thurman's, and obviously Poison Ivy was not in the 1989 Batman movie. So it's kind of interesting that they've pieced these together, but they did. So I do not have this Poison Ivy figure yet. I just didn't think, even seeing her in person, that it was at the same quality level of the other figures. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't actually held it in my hands, but just looking at it, I've seen it on the pegs many times, and I still may pick it up at some point, but I just have not gotten around to it. Down here, we've got some of the information. It obviously contains one figure plus his accessories, just a bunch of warnings and just different things down there. Here is the bottom of the box with all of the legal stuff, just in case you need to know, plus the UPC symbol. And that's it as far as the box. So now let's go ahead and open this guy up and see what he's all about. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. Now, usually I tear these things open, and ever since we started doing the McFarlane reviews, you have to be careful because they all have the card there on the inside, and I bent the first one. I ended up getting it replaced, but I bent the first Batman card. And so I'm kind of a little bit more careful, but taking this apart, you always got to be careful with this. And check this out. I don't know why they've done this, but they actually have, you can see here, they have this thing attached to the box. And that's a cloth cape. And I don't know why they would do that, because somebody just ripping that off is going to put a hole right in that cape. So we're going to need to be really careful taking this out. So you can see right there, if you get this figure, do not just pull it out. It is, otherwise you're going to put a hole right and possibly rip off that little tail right there. I mean, that is just not good placement at all. So I'm going to cut that off right now. So I got that off, and I don't know if you can see this, but there's actually, yeah, you can. There's actually a hole in the cloth cape. I mean, I'm glad that they got kind of a cloth cape. It's just kind of a skinny cape. It's not really a flowing Batman cape, but I'm kind of ticked that now I've got a hole in my cape. Also, you're going to want to be careful because it does go through the back of the plastic. You can see here, there's Batman in the plastic right there. All of his accessories. Now we're going to take him out. First, we're going to take out his gun. This is his grappling gun, made famous in the movie, and also came with other figures. This is his classic Batarang. That, if I'm looking at this, it actually looks the same size as the one that came with the smaller figures years ago. Now, let's get him. And we're good to go. So here is our figure in his classic Batman pose, as you can see right there. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the figure and his articulation. Let's take a look at the sculpting first. Here he's got a nice head, not a lot of sculpting there, but something that some people will be happy about is that the cowl does cover the nose. He's got kind of a grimace on his face right there. I like it that even though the neck is high, it doesn't go way up into the head. And so we actually have some head right there, on the back of the head right there, instead of just all the, just a little tiny spot. It's got kind of the normal body that some of these had. Now, I do like that they did create this extra piece that is kind of classic with this Batman look. This part that extends the cowl over here where the Batman symbol is on that part of it. It's just kind of got some standard body muscles there. Here are the gauntlets. It's nice sculpting there. It's got, you know, it looks very similar to the movie. The belt obviously stands out as being very similar to the movie and how the movie version of the belt looked. Down here we have the boots that are very much on par with the movie character. And here is the back, which is just more of the belt. Like I said, it's got this cloth cape that kind of comes out from underneath the cowl there. It's kind of fuzzy. It's nice. I would have liked to have seen it more a little bit where it kind of flowed out, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. Oh, no, you didn't. No, so his head is on a ball joint, but it only goes back and forth a little bit. It will go all the way around, like so. He can look up a little bit and look down just like so. He's got articulation here at the armpit, here at the shoulder. It goes all the way around like that and around. He does have a bicep swivel, which is always nice. He has a single bending elbow, as you can see there. His wrist goes around like so, and it will go back and forth. Now mine is a little loose there. The other arm does the exact same thing. He's got the standard ab crunch for these Mattel figures. As you can see, mine's a little tight, but that's good. We like that. But you can see there, he will do an ab crunch like that. He spins around at the waist. Batman is pretty limber. He can do the splits just like so. His leg will go all the way around like that. He's got a thigh swivel right there. He has a double bending knee, but it's a little strange because even though it's double bending, you don't get really, at least mine, let me try the other leg. You don't really get the full double bend. I mean, it's mostly this top bend here, and you get a little bit of this bottom one, as you can see, but it does work. There is no swivel at the calf. His foot goes up and down like so, and will go around like that. And the other leg does the exact same thing. All right, let's take a look at his accessories. This, of course, is his grappling gun, made to look very much like the one in the movie. It does have a hole here on the front, and I'll show you what that's for, because as you can see here, he's got a rope that attaches to the batarang, and the batarang has this little peg, like so, that you can put into the end of the barrel of the gun. The grappling gun fits pretty well into his hand, as so. Now, there is no place to put it on his belt. I do wish that they would do that with some of these figures, because a lot of these Batman figures come with batarangs and grappling guns, and it'd be nice if they made it so that you could put the accessories around somewhere on the utility belt, because that's where he keeps them, in the movies and in the TV shows. So obviously you can, shoot this out. You can't shoot it out, but you can put it out, and let's see if it will hold him up. You can see there, it definitely will. So I don't know how long that'll hold for, but it's doing a pretty good job so far. And you can see I can kind of bounce him up and down like so. So that's pretty cool. Here are some other figures for comparison. I've got a couple of other 89 Batmans that we can compare this one to. This is obviously the Toy Biz Batman that came out at the time that the movie came out. This is my original Batman that I grew up with. This is the one that I had as a kid. That's why he's got some wear on him and stuff. Now you can look here at the Batarang, and you see we can compare it to this Batarang, and it is almost the same in size. And it's definitely the same in shape. So it's kind of cool that they kind of brought that back. This Batarang was probably a little big for this Batman. It was also the same Batarang that came with Robin from the Toy Biz line. So there's that Batman. Then, of course, we've got this 89 Batman that I just picked up a couple of weeks ago. And this right here is from the 3 3/4 scale DC Multiverse figures. I really like how his cape comes out. It's kind of a leatherette type of cape. As you can see here, that would have been really cool to do with this figure over here, to have something that kind of comes out like that and it really stands out. But, they didn't do that. Also, something to note is that they kind of, they didn't quite do these emblems right, because this emblem's pretty close to the original Batman. This one's more, you know, dead on with the 89 Batman, but this one is like a little bit of a hybrid. And then of course, this one was just completely different. This is just the generic Batman logo. I also, of course, have two of the McFarlane ones, the DC Detective Comics Batman 1000 right there, and then, of course, the Arkham Asylum Batman that just came out. So there you go, folks. That is my review of the DC Multiverse Mattel version of the 89 Batman. What did you guys think? Was this something that you guys picked up when this came out? I know I haven't seen a lot of these at retail. I've seen a few, but not a lot. But I was kind of excited to get this just because it's a throwback for me. It's something, you know, that reminds me of that, especially that old 89 Batman that I have, and that movie, which is just one of the best Batman movies really ever made. And it's still today a lot of people's favorite. But what did you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section. Also, follow me on social media where we can talk about these things long after the videos are done. I'd love to talk to you. I want to see how you display your toys. What kind of toys do you collect? Do you collect DC figures? Do you collect Marvel figures? Do you collect other things? Let me know. I would love to see pictures of them. And if you're a toy collector, maybe I could have you on sometime and we can talk about our love for toys. I'm trying to put together a show about toys with a panel of people. Some of you may have seen our Poindexter Council that we have, where we talk about movies and TV shows and kind of comic book stuff. I would love to do the same thing with toys. So if you're a toy person, let me know and let's talk. All right. Also, thank you to all of our Patreon supporters out there. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys so much. We're so grateful to all of you, as well as everyone who has given anything to the channel, whether it be through a super chat or whatnot. And that being said, don't forget this month, if you give in the month of June to either the Patreon, you become a Patreon supporter, or you give in any super chat in any of our live streams, you are put in the running for the Weird Al Yankovic Complete Al DVD. There's lots of Weird Al music videos on there, and it's kind of like a mockumentary about his life. And so you are in the running. I mean, for as little as $1, you can be in the running for that DVD. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. Even if you just watch the channel and you comment every once in a while, that's what means the world to us. We just appreciate all of you guys so much, and I appreciate you coming by my toy room and letting me talk to you about my toys for a while. All right, until next time, my name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett. It's just saying, I'm Batman, and I'll see you in the toy aisle. Bye-bye.